Alright, what's up guys? JaretCampisi back at the track. We're actually at a different track today because our normal track's under construction, so you'll be seeing more of this place for the next couple of weeks. Today we're going to be covering a topic that is arguably one of the most important topic when it comes to any type of training. And since we've covered how track training works, and we've covered what you should be doing in your off training as far as lifting and things like that, I thought this would be a perfect time to explain track and field diet, what you should be eating, how you should be eating. If I could go back into my back in time when I used to train, and I could change anything about my training, this is probably the one thing I would change, because my diet was not good enough for what I was doing back then, and I didn't really understand this stuff. So if you're trying to run your best performances, you're trying to get the best out of your body, this is an absolute video that you're going to want to stick around for, so stay tuned. So, track and field diet. Before we even go into what you should be eating and how much of the different things you should be eating, the first thing you need to understand is when you're training on the track, when you're lifting in the gym, you're actually breaking down your body, you're breaking down your muscles. When you get sore and things after training, especially if you do a hard leg day or a hard interval training on the track, you're getting sore because you're actually causing little tiny micro tears in your muscles. And then what you eat and when you rest, what you give your body, that's what your body uses to repair and then recover and get better, okay? So there is such thing called overtraining, and basically all that means is if you're running and lifting and you're not giving yourself sufficient protein and vegetables and all that kind of stuff, the nutrients that your body needs to repair, and giving your body enough time to repair, then you're technically gonna get worse, okay? Because you're never giving your body time to recover. Your body recovers when you're sleeping, when you're not training, and when you're eating, okay? So, if you're just hammering track workouts and hammering weight training workouts and you're never taking rest days, or your program isn't set up correctly, then you're not gonna improve, okay? Or you might improve, but it's gonna take a lot longer, okay? So diet is arguably one of the most important things you can be doing, okay? And that's why I said if I could go back, this is what I would change. So let's first talk about, that was the loudest bird ever. Let's first talk about what kind of things you should be eating and kind of how it works. So my approach to diet is kind of like a flexible diet approach. And so with that, you probably heard the term, if it fits your macros. So macros is basically just everything breaks down, that you eat breaks down into 1 to 3 categories, okay? First you have your fats, then you have your carbohydrates. That's basically your body's energy source. That's our main source of energy. It's very important for us running track and field because we want to make sure we're eating carbohydrates. They get kind of a bad name from all the diets and things like that. People say eating carbs make you fat. That's not true. Eating too much of anything will make you fat, okay? But we don't really have to worry about that because we're athletes and we're training and we're working out. Carbs are very important for us. And then finally, protein. Protein are probably one of the most important things for us, because if you're not getting sufficient protein, then you're not going to be giving your body, that's the building blocks of muscle, okay, protein. So that's what's going to be repairing your body, that's what your muscles are going to be using to repair and get bigger and get stronger, okay? So let's just throw out like some general numbers for you guys, okay? For protein, if you're an athlete, if you play any kind of sport, if you're doing resistance training, what I kind of go off of, my guideline is 1 gram per pound of body weight, okay? So myself, I'm about 175 to 180 pounds right now. So that means I want to try to get 170 to 180 grams of protein, okay? That's gonna make sure that I'm getting enough protein for my body to recover after my workouts and for my muscles to continue to get better and bigger and stronger, okay? What I do for carbohydrates is I just basically double that number, okay? That's a good place to start. So if I'm doing 180 grams of protein, then double that's 360. So that's 360 grams of carbs. And then for fat, what I do is I take my protein number and I cut it in half, okay? So if I'm eating 180 grams of protein, then actually 90 to 80 grams of fat is probably a little bit too high. I'd stay more in the 70 region. So you can maybe half it and take about 20 grams off, something like that. These are just general numbers, okay, that I'm telling you guys to shoot for. And so basically what that means is if you take any kind of thing that you're eating and you look at the nutritional information, it'll tell you fats, it'll tell you carbohydrates, it'll tell you protein. There's a bunch of other stuff that's in that food as well, but we're not super concerned with that for this kind of diet approach. And so as long as you add up those numbers at the end of the day and you're hitting those numbers, then you're just going to make sure that you're getting the most out of your training and you're not, you know, missing gains or progress that your diet is inhibiting. Okay, so for track and field specifically, we want to be as light as possible and as strong as possible, okay? And so that means we don't really want to be eating in a surplus to gain mass, and we don't want to be training in the gym to gain mass. There's different rep ranges, different training styles. So on my page, you'll see like muscle building, bodybuilding type workouts, but you'll also see like track and field lifting workouts. So you guys want to be sticking to the track and field lifting workouts because those are focused more around gaining strength, not necessarily gaining size. Sometimes they do come hand in hand together, but gaining size is really a product of your diet, right? So calories is just a measurement of energy, okay? So throughout the day, you're gonna be burning calories, you're training, whatever. How many calories you take in as a total throughout the day versus how many calories you burn, that's just basically what you have left over. You're either at maintenance calories, which means at the end of the day, you're not gaining or losing. You're in a deficit of calories. That just means you're cutting weight, right? So at the end of the day, if you burn more calories than you ate, then you're losing body fat, right? Your body's gonna go to fat for your energy sources, okay? And then if you're in a surplus of calories, that means you're taking more calories in than you're using, then that's like what we want for bodybuilding when people are bulking up, trying to add mass, trying to add size and stuff like that, okay? It's really that simple, guys. So you can eat basically whatever you want as long as you're eating to hit those macros, and you're you know, obviously healthy foods are always better. You don't want to be eating Sour Patch Kids and Snickers bars and stuff like that like I did when I was in college. It was stupid, but I really didn't know any better, you know. You know, you want to be sticking to lean, quality, whole foods. You know, carbohydrate sources, you want things like rice, potatoes, beans, oatmeal is wonderful. Protein sources, you want lean sources of protein, so you want your chickens, you want lean sources of red meat. Fish is really amazing, and then, you know, any other protein sources, you can get eggs are like one of the best sources of protein. If you're afraid of egg yolks, you can just eat egg whites, stuff like that. You can buy them in like the form that you pour into drinks and crap like that. And then you also have fats. Normally I don't worry too much about fat because I just get that as I'm eating like a good meal, but there are better fats than other fats, so things like avocados, fats from nuts, healthy oils like coconut oil, stuff like that. Those are the kind of foods that you want to be eating, you know. So an example breakfast would be like, you know, some eggs with oatmeal, a bowl of fruit, and like a glass of milk or something like that. And then, you know, lunch you want your rice and chicken and some sort of vegetables. And then dinner you could have fish and sweet potatoes and, I don't know, broccoli or something like that. And so if you're eating correctly, guys, it's gonna make a world of difference with your training. I wish I would have ate a lot better. And obviously staying hydrated is very important. Drinking water all throughout the day. You wanna get at least 1 ounce per pound or half an ounce per pound, something like that, you know. So I aim for 90 ounces of water a day. And these are just estimates. If you guys want specific plans written by me, you know, to make sure you're exactly hitting those numbers, you can go to my website and check those out there. I have diet plans and stuff like that where I do macro training and things like that. But again, for track and field, you want to be as light as possible and as strong as possible. So we're usually eating right around maintenance so that we're not really gaining a ton of size, but we're just getting stronger. And as we do our interval training and stuff like that, you're going to stay lean and things like that anyway. But just making sure that you're eating correctly is going to it's gonna make a world of difference. So I hope that helped. I wanted to keep this short for you guys, but I really wanted to touch on this since I told you guys to be in the weight room training. So just make sure you're getting quality protein, you're eating enough carbs to have your energy up, and then fat is gonna help keep your testosterone levels high. It's gonna shuttle all those nutrients to your muscles and things like that. So you know, I can talk about supplements. I personally use some supplements. If you want to hear more things about diet and supplements and all that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments below, and make sure you guys get your diet dialed in. I really can't stress that enough. It's gonna make, if you want to get some of these going, it's gonna make a world of difference. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. As always, leave a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe if this is helpful. Leave any comments, anything you want to know in the comment section below, and we will make sure to make it happen, get those videos out for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.